I'm Christina Frank. I'm a visual artist. My background is in architecture, but I describe my practice as drawing-based.
I'm Michelle Perrett. I'm a ceramic sculptor, working mainly making plant sculptures based on plants. The name of the project is Small Bird, and we were inspired to make the work by our backgrounds of just living in Sydney and of the small birds in our own backyard that have disappeared over a number of years because of their loss of habitat and
the change of balance in the ecosystem, where you have more large birds and with from loss of habitat and predators, that we have fewer small birds. I'd say that Michelle and I were drawn to work together because we're both inspired by the environment, and as Michelle said, we both had childhoods sort of growing up in the Sydney bush, and I think that's sort of very deep within both of us. The original concept was sort of intended to be a bit ambiguous, so it could be either we first of all sort of envisaged it as a midden, sort of referring to the vulnerability and the state of some of these birds being on the edge, and referring to the white of the clay, referring to to the middens that we see around Sydney, which are from a vanished culture here.
That weathering or wearing away of the previous colour.
For me, the process of putting together actually reminded me of a drawing, in that the broad sheets of bark was perhaps like an area of charcoal, and then you sort of keep on layering it over with sort of more and more detail, and until you get to the casuarina fronds, which are just fine lines, and we kept on building up the detail, and then laid the birds over the top. So to pop out.
Yeah, a lot of work goes into it as well, and just makes you realise how much it's a fine balance for those small birds, because they need spiky hakea and undergrowth to survive, and that can be easily swept away.
Well, I hope they enjoy seeing it, and that that it's a sort of an experience of delight and beauty. But I hope that they also might consider the plight of the small bird and its place in a sort of fragile ecosystem. And consider that that even the smallest part will disturb and disrupt an entire our entire sort of bush system, and affect our whole lives. So.